of a brand new CNN special report airing this Sunday night at 10 p.m. It's called Kamala Harris Making History. MJ, thanks for joining us. As you know, the outgoing Vice President Mike Pence, he finally, with only 5 days left in the Trump administration, finally called the Vice President-elect Kamala Harris to congratulate her, a promise to work together during these final few days. The fact that this is news shows just how unprecedented all of this transition really is, doesn't it?
It's really like nothing we have seen before in a very, very long time. And yeah, with just 5 days remaining before he is no longer in office, the Vice President, Mike Pence, is doing something that most vice presidents would have done shortly after the election was called by news organizations, not even the point at which it was certified. So it really goes to show that so much of this is happening so late. And what usually happens in this interim period, which is a handoff, both in public but also in private, passing along of information, none of that really ever happened. And so both the president-elect and the vice president-elect are going into these jobs without having the benefit of having had a sit down and a talking to at length with their predecessors.
Yeah, President Trump has refused to call President-elect Biden to congratulate him, to invite him over to the White House, to even talk to him. And I don't remember a time when that has happened. Let me share with our viewers you know, a little preview of your special report that really shows the Vice President-elect's perseverance. I want our viewers to watch this.
After the financial crash in 2008, states sued these banks for foreclosure abuses. California was among the hardest hit, with banks filing foreclosures on over 1 million homes. That's when Harris pulled up her chair to the table.
We're in that negotiation. She's talking to the banks. We're flying around the country, partnering with other AGs.
There's leverage, right, in that force of all the states coming together to take on some of the banks and Wall Street.
I determined that what the banks were offering California was crumbs on the table. So I pulled California out of the negotiations.
Standing in the trenches with Harris, Delaware's Attorney General Beau Biden.
His state hadn't been as hard hit as many around the foreclosures, but Beau, on a matter of principle, said, it's not right, and I'm going to stand with you guys. It was incredible how much heat we took, and Beau stood there. Beau stood there.
The standoff paid off.
As a result of 13 months of intense discussions, sometimes battle, we have delivered to California $18 billion in relief for California's homeowners.
So, excellent little clip there, Abby. What does this say about how she'll approach being the next vice president of the United States?
Well, this was one of the more bold decisions that she made that really put her kind of in a category of her own, basically standing up to the banks and walking away from a deal that she didn't think was good enough for her constituents back in California. But it's also a story that shows that at this pivotal time for her, she was Attorney General at the time, she was willing to kind of put herself out there, stand up to really powerful banks, and do so basically all alone, but also then building a coalition around her. In that coalition, Wolf, was Beau Biden, President-elect Joe Biden's son. And it's that relationship that is at the core and the foundation of this incoming administration. That is when she met Joe Biden, when she developed a personal relationship with him. And people that I spoke to for this documentary say that that undergirds what they are going to be doing when they are running the country together effectively. They're going to have a friendship, a personal trust with each other. And then beyond that, you know, Kamala Harris is someone who's always walked into the room as a black woman, a South Asian woman, and been kind of, you know, not really necessarily respected by people that she's been dealing with, and she's commanded that respect, even though many people are not used to dealing with people who look like her. And I think that's something that when you talk to people around her, she has always been willing to do in a lot of these roles where she's been the first to be what she is and where she's had to break a lot of barriers to get there.
Really looking forward to seeing the documentary.